talking about the one rich lady who
Oh,
had
the chip
that
ripped her
chip,
face
the
off.
chip
Ate her
ripped
face.
Yeah, well, it was actually her friend's face.
But yeah, so yeah, he had a bookstore, kind of by St. Mary's.
Oh, okay. I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
yeah, he's a super cool dude. He's always writing about ghosts and weird things and bizarre occurrences. So
There's a kangaroo, like apparently, like it, little blurb in the book that I was looking at earlier. There was like kangaroos have flocked to North America.
okay. So there have been multiple Illinois kangaroo sightings, and there's also the Mattoon Mad Gasser and the the Murfreesboro Mud
That's
Monster.
what the Murfreesboro Mud Monster is. The other one I wanted to ask about.
But then there's this other one that's super creepy. The Infield Horror. That's another Illinois creature.
Is like not like the infield like isn't that like a hotel? No, maybe that was from the Conjuring movies. I swear to God, there was something I don't remember. But
No, the Enfield Horror is like this 3-legged monster that's scratched on some dude's door.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty scary.
Wasn't it crackhead?
Could have been,
Could've been.
but it was like a rural crackhead, and those are built pretty different.
Okay.
Yeah, those are the rugged ones. They're usually more meth heads there anyway.
There is definitely a difference between like you can tell the difference between a meth head and a crackhead. It's the way they walk. Meth head walks with like kind of like and the crackhead has purpose.
Yeah, but I've met a lot of meth heads with purpose too, and I've met a lot of people who do blow that think they're doing blow, but they're really doing meth.
I will plead the fifth to that.
Same with Molly.
Accidental meth happens. Okay, we're gonna get off this topic.
Fine.
We're gonna get back to it.
Fine, we're not going to talk about meth.
So what's been going on? What's been going on with you?
I don't know. It snowed.
It did snow.
My wife won't let me make a forever soup.
What's a forever soup? I'm scared.
Oh,
to
where you
ask.
just keep the crock pot going and adding more shit to it.
Oh, those are actually a thing. Yeah,
I know.
I want to do like a pickled. There's pickled versions of that people had in their like for generations. That they have a pickling jar. Have you never heard of that? There's a way you seal it with like water. Yeah, look into it. It's really cool. Like people have like been passed it along. It's very typical in Asian cultures to have a pickling jar, and you keep on like adding the salt and the stuff to it. And yeah, it's really cool. That's something you guys can do that's safer.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. She lets me do it from Friday night till Monday afternoon, though. So, like, this time it was a turkey, bacon, squash, sweet potato, and then I added potatoes, and I added onions, and I added some green chilies. Then I added multiple sorts of beans. Then I added some more turkey. And then I crushed up some nuts in a coffee grinder. Ooh. And threw in a bunch of mixed nuts and almonds and like a crunched up crumbly form.
And I didn't get to try this shit. Like,
no, I mean, I'm going to make one every weekend through the winter, though.
That sounds good. I actually cooked Thanksgiving for the first time in years because I usually pick up a shift on Thanksgiving, and I was so happy. I went over to my friend's house, and it was really nice. It was a nice little Thanksgiving. I didn't even really, after you cook all day, I'm one of those people that I can't eat. I saved a plate for myself so I would get everything, but definitely I was like exhausted after. But that turkey, I got told it was the best turkey that this guy ever had.
Wow.
Chris Featherstone. He won't mind that I give him a shout out. He said it was the best turkey. He actually went back to his family and said that their turkey was trash and mine was the best.
I could see him doing that.
Yeah. I love that. It makes me feel so good inside.
I spent it at the Polycule. My brother-in-law's Polycule. We were down in Smithton by Belleville.
I've never heard of that town.
Oh, it's actually not a bad town. It's where the band Uncle Tupelo recorded some music. But
I've heard of that band.
They're the band that became Wilco.
Okay.
There it is. There it is. All right. So, I don't know. We kicked it. Really good ham. Really good. They made like mashed rutabaga and turnips.
That's rutabaga is my favorite. In fact, my grandma used to make it all the time growing up, and it's hard to find sometimes. It's not in the stores all the time. I think Schnuck sometimes has it, but I love with cream and a little bit of sugar, brown sugar.
That's exactly how they made it.
Those things are hard to cut.
I know.
They're a pain in the ass to cut.
Fucking coconut sugar as well. Coconut sugar is like an earthier brown sugar. I don't know if you've used it.
I haven't used it really. I've used like coconut flour. Like, don't they have coconut flour?
No, I mean I've used I don't know. Tabs is gluten free, so I've been using almond flour with potato
Maybe
starch.
It's almond flour I'm thinking about.
Almond flour is good shit. But yeah, so it was pretty cool. Our oven broke. I was gonna make roasted squash stuffed with pumpkin. One of them was stuffed with turkey burger. One of them was stuffed with rosemary bacon.
Nice.
But our oven broke, so those all became the soup I made.
No, I mean, you got to get creative. I understand.
Yes.
I had an oven that broke and only the broiler worked, and I did that for over a year. You can do it. Just be very careful, and you can cook. It's not going to cook great. You have to watch it. But until I got my new oven a few years ago, I did that. And you know how much I love to cook, so it was a pain in the fucking I hated it.
Oh, yeah, I know. Just been using the crock pot and the cast iron skillet for everything.
No, because we're old poor. No, we're not new poor. We know how to figure shit up.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Like, you got to make do with what you have. Like,
I love that I'm simultaneously Catholic school educated and taught by my mom. So it's like...
Kimmy definitely would have known how to sweep some carpet, if you know what that reference means. Because, no. So... growing up in a lot of places, and then when I was homeless, couch surfing, and crackheads and everything, sweeping. We didn't have a vacuum, so you swept carpet. That's how you cleaned your carpet. You swept it, and there's a way to sweep a carpet. And so that's how I know somebody's never been poor is if I say if they're like, oh, my vacuum broke, I'm gonna vacuum, I'm like, sweep the carpet, and they're like, how? And I'm like, you don't know how to fucking sweep Nope, that's how you know.
See, my mom always stole vacuums.
Okay, that makes sense. But I'm sure I'm sure that she would have known how to sweep a carpet.
For weed. Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay.
I've watched her go under the couches looking for things and being like...
Are you sure it was just weed?
No.
We can't talk about crack again.
I don't know if my mom smoked a lot of crack, but she smoked a little crack.
Okay.
I mean, she was more of a pure cocaine woman. And weed and cigarettes and Keystones.
I'm going to try to quit smoking cigarettes, and I'm sorry in advance if I'm a giant cunt to everyone. I'm going to get some nicotine patches. This is my last carton, and I am going to try to quit smoking cigarettes. And I think Kimmy would have approved. It's for Kimmy, actually, because she should have quit smoking.
Yeah, she should have.
One day she would have. One day she would have, I think.
No, she wouldn't have.
No, yep.
No, she wouldn't have.
Yep. Yes, she would have. I think
she loved smoking.
Oh, I love smoking.
Rolling cigarettes was the biggest part of her day. She rolled her own.
Oh, I'm too bougie.
She bought her own tobacco and just rolled it on pioneer style, watching fucking Prison Wives on her little TV, being like, "Oh, baby, I'm just gonna smoke my own cigarette. You know, it ain't that bad."
Is Prison Wives the one where they purposely marry the people?
Uh huh. Oh god. Yeah, Kimmy. Oh god, some of my earliest memories were okay, baby, here's how Howkhead taught me how to splice these wires. I'm going to plug them into this neighbor's house, right? And they ain't even know I'm going to get their cable. Now, I stole one of these boxes from one of Grandpa's rental houses. So my mom actually took electronics at Lewis and Clark for 2 years and knew the basics of being an electrician and used it to steal cable.
I could have used her at one point in my life, really.
Everyone could have used a Kimmy
at
some point. She had her little dress-up box full of IDs, credit cards, library cards, you name it. She's like, I can be anyone I want to, baby. She traded a third of a tank of gas for a guy's cell phone. And whenever she got it, she went through it and was like, oh my God, all these are just videos of him climbing radio towers looking for 5G. And this man's up really high in a fucking radio tower, just yelling about 5G. And I'm like, Mom, how'd you get this? Oh yeah, he was trying to get away in a Jeep and he didn't have no money. So I gave him a third of a tank of gas. He gave me a cell phone. I already texted his dad, told me he was gay. I came out to his whole family. They think it's him. Because I guess his messenger and all his texts were up, so she was just like texting everybody in his phone, being like really thought out "I'm gay" messages.
Oh, that's
And I'm like, Mom, that's kind of homophobic.
really bad. Yeah.
And then she's like, "No, baby, all of them's pretty accepting. They're very nice about it." And I'm like, Mom, what you're doing is wrong. He's like, "They're not wrong being gay, baby." I'm like, "But you're lying about this man." Well, he shouldn't have given me his stupid phone. He's the fucking idiot. Look at me. You don't think I'm gonna do this? And it's like, yeah, I gotta give her that.
I think our moms would have definitely been friends. I think they would have been friends. I really do. Like I found my mom's. It was the greatest thing. I got to clean out my family home, and her wallet still had everything in it, including her Coke straw.
Oh.
Yeah. Yep. And it was like, that was just beautiful. I was like, Mom. Like, I just opened it up and there it was. Like this little, I was like, my uncle had no idea what it was. And he was like, why is this so funny? And then I told him and he's like, this isn't funny. It's funny. It was funny. I mean, she's been dead for like, what, 35 years? And her Coke straw is just sitting there like it was waiting for her to come back for it. Like, it was brilliant. I think they would have been really good friends.
It makes me wonder what you think of Coral Castle, though.
Well, yeah.
So Coral Castle was built by that. I forgot where he immigrated from, but like he built it for this woman who never showed up.
Right.
And he was like 5 feet tall, and everyone was like, "What's he doing out there? What's he building out there?" And he's like, "I use pyramid technology and I stack giant rocks."
Yeah, yeah, and I think he was having some fun with people, is what he was doing,
of course,
and building an interesting place. And it's at least we don't have there's not really a ghost story that goes along with it, but it's an interesting place. But how true is that story? I don't know.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I don't know if it's true or if it's not true. And there are other places. There's another place like that in Arizona too that was a similar story. And I ran across that. It's like the Garden of Eden in Kansas, same kind of thing. All this crazy stuff this guy built, and there's a legend behind it, but it might have just been a guy having some fun. And I think that a lot of that stuff is what it boils down to, is just that nobody could understand that. When it was going on in the 30s or the 40s, they didn't see that as something that there was not enough whimsy. You know what I'm saying? And I'm often accused by Sam of not having enough whimsy because I want to take apart all the stories.
Yeah.
But for me, that's what makes it fun. It's so much more interesting for me to find out the real story behind this stuff.
Relatable.
And instead of, this great legend that we've got, because I grew up with this story out of Pittsburgh, the house on Ridge Avenue. And I ran across this story about this guy who built this house, and he was this, rich guy from down south, and he and his wife moved in, and he starts having an affair with a servant, and his wife goes crazy and kills the servant and then kills her husband. And then the house becomes haunted, and there's this crazy doctor that moves in, and he's doing experiments on dead bodies. And it's a huge, drawn out, great story. And I thought, this is the scariest thing I've ever heard. I mean, and it's got all these terrible things that happen. Turns out not a single one of them are true. Not a single one. That address was like a 2-story frame house. It was never a mansion. It was all this crazy stuff. And it's like, am I disappointed, or was it kind of cool to get to dig up the real story? Kind of cool to get to dig up the real story, honestly.
Didn't you want to ask about the kangaroos before we go?
Yeah,
ask about the kangaroos.
What's with the kangaroos?
I don't know. That's one of those. That's one of those weird animal stories that, like, alligators in Lake Decatur and kangaroos that have been seen, and it's like, or the Black Panthers. That's the big thing.
Oh yeah, they're everywhere.
Around Decatur. I mean, this stuff goes back to like the 50s. Like people seeing Black Panthers, and
Same
it's
with
like,
around here.
Why? How? Because Black Panthers are not. They're not indigenous to North America, let alone Illinois, and yet people see them. So the story is always, it was a circus train. Circus train. How many circus trains could there have been?
Thousands.
That's a lot of panthers and kangaroos, but yet these things show up, and you don't know. You just have a story from somebody. You don't know, okay, is this real? did they really see this kangaroo? Because the stories in around Chicago of this, like cops being beat up by kangaroos. And the guys will tell these stories firsthand. And I've known a few Chicago cops, and they don't usually go around telling stories about how they were made to look stupid, you know, and yet they tell these kangaroo story, and I'm like, okay, this doesn't make sense, man.
I don't know. So kangaroo, I know somebody with a kangaroo. I actually do
That they own a kangaroo?
No, yeah. So I was in foster care, and I met her. She was my foster sister growing up. She lives in Springfield. That's where I was, or near Springfield. She has, it's called Wild Times Exotics. So she has a kangaroo.
Okay.
And then she also has a Cuda Monday and a bunch of all these exotic
So
animals.
when they all escape, we'll have new stories.
Yes, we will.
Because that happened a few years ago in Zanesville, Ohio. There was a guy that had a home zoo, and they're like, dude, you can't do this. So he got mad and just let them all go. And so there were like panthers and cheetahs and stuff roaming around Ohio for a while.
If we've learned anything from that one monkey story about that girl who got,
we interviewed the Tiger King.
Oh, that's right. You did. That's right.
No, I'm talking about the one rich lady who
Oh,
had
the chimp
that
ripped her
chimp,
face
the
off.
Where
chimp
it ate her
ripped
face.
Yeah, well, it was actually her friend's face.
Oh,
it wasn't her face.
yeah.
And so she felt really bad about it too. But there was signs leading up to the chimp ripping off the face because it was starting to get aggressive. It was went wild in traffic.
Wild
one
animals.
time.
You know, I mean,
Yep.
these people with the and you don't see it quite as much as you used to, but people used to, keep these things as pets. They're funny. Oh, they wear clothes and smoke a cigar, and okay, they will kill you.
Yep.
Chimps are scary and very aggressive. And there's a
monkeys are
movie.
they're beautiful.
There's
They're
a movie
mean.
coming out. I made Sam watch the trailer for. I forget what it's called, but it's coming out soon, like Buddy or something like that. And it's like a killer chimp. And I thought, okay, that's terrifying. And I think Jordan Peele did a movie where chimp ate someone. Yeah.
Yep.
And it's like, wow.
That had
that's
to do with
frightening.
sky jellyfish, which is more in my
that's
realm.
right. That's your area.
Yeah, I'm
there.
the 14.
That's right. That's right.
UFO,
Yes.
interdimensional Bigfoot,
Yes.
listen to too much Art Bell guy.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
We're
'cause
gonna get
those
a
were
UFO
The
guest
Art Bell, those were the days, man. I
You
used to
still
sit out
find
on
some
my
of those.
deck,
Yep.
and when that was on, and sit out there and get drunk and listen to Art Bell for hours.
God.
Yeah.
Oh, the times.
Crazy stuff.
The times. So with American Nightmares, just before we go, are you going to touch on the Laotian community getting shadow people that turned into Freddy Krueger?
That is, I do talk about that. I do a presentation that is about, and I may get to that eventually.
Cool, because that's one of my favorites.
I know. I talk about that when I talk about the horror movie, the real stories that spawned horror films. That was our last season of the podcast. We had like 24 episodes, but that wasn't long enough for me to turn it into a whole episode. But I do always mention it when I talk about that stuff, when I do a presentation on it, because it is really interesting.
Yeah, lots of Laotians who left Laos were getting like shadow people, old hag experiences, and these young men were just
Free to
dying.
sleep.
Yeah.
Because they
I've
were
never heard
dying,
about
and
that.
Wes Craven read an article about it, got interested, and it became
That's how
Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
that's where it came from.
Yeah, based on shadow people experiences by young Laotian men.
Yeah, it's pretty cool where a lot of that stuff got its start with the movies and things. We, like I said, we did 24 episodes on it, and I
God, I
could
can't wait to
do
listen to them.
twice that many probably. I mean, I've got so many more.
I'm a true crime
seasons
person,
over.
so
Yeah,
I
I
do.
love. Yeah, we did Murder Houses the season before, which were true crimes with the haunted houses connected to it. That's again.
I
one of
got
my
really
favorite
mad
things.
about the recent Ed Gein Netflix
Oh,
thing. I got
that's
so
horrible.
mad.
It's so
the
bad.
inaccuracies and the fact that the one they never her killer is still unknown, and the fact that they just attributed it
I
to
know.
him was
I know.
really fucking.
I know. I've written all
Ooh.
about her too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know. It's
really pissed me off.
yeah, that I
It's
did it.
disrespectful, I think, to our fucking families.
Yeah, our
Remember it.
Patreon. I do a Patreon podcast also in addition to the other ones, and I did an entire season about Ed Gein, but it was I tied it into the making of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, so we would flip back and forth. But I did it Ed Gein season, and yeah, that I had a lot of people contact me going, "What do you think about this?" I said, "I'm
It's
not."
horrible.
We ended up watching it, but only so I could hate watch it.
That's what I did.
That's what I ended up doing. it wasn't that what Charlie Hunnam was not as bad as I expected him to be. And he's actually did a great job. It's just the material he had to work with. And for God's sake, the next one they're going to do is Lizzie Borden. And I'm like,
I know.
oh God, I can already hear.
Yeah, that's gonna make your fork go up in value.
Yeah, well, that is true. But yeah, I need to push my Lizzie Borden book soon, I guess.
It was awesome, and honestly, I think she donated everything when she died to like an animal.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah,
she did.
like,
yeah.
she
Some
was
of her
actually-
stuff ended up with some relatives, but yeah, most of her estate went to like cat shelters, and
Hell,
she had
OG
like
cat
24 cats, and yeah, she became a cat lady.
yeah, no, I mean that's what you do whenever.
She got
Why not?
ostracized.
Yeah,
after
she was. She was
everything, so.
she was, an outcast in town. So why not?